All right. Anyway, speaking of fishies in the middle.
Oh, the segue. Amazing.
I got fished.
Yeah.
Basically, I think earlier this week, actually, last weekend. So almost an entire week ago, we were having a pool party at our place.
Sorry. Make his advertise said Luke's channel is the one you get if you leave YouTube on autoplay.
Oh, yeah.
That's way too real.
Mommy's an angel now and came back to Earth as Elsa.
Elsa's building a computer.
Wait till she meets Spider-Man.
I want to go home and start filming this immediately.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, we were having a pool party and I got an email that basically was like someone logged into your Twitter account from some IP address in Russia.
Okay, so I'm gonna interject as you go through this.
Yeah, what you're referring to as Russia is in fact Turkey. Russia plus, yeah, exactly. Or as I've taken to calling it, Russia plus Turkey. Russia plus Ukraine. Wait, sorry. Carry on.
So did you do all of this on your phone?
So, no.
Okay, so you got the alert and then you ran to your computer?
I did.
Okay.
And basically it dropped me on a page that was like, hey, reset your password. And it's one of those things where I like to think that I am better than this. For real. I like to think that I can do better than this. I know better than to click a link in an email. You navigate to the site manually and reset your password that way. So
this is so John Hammond, he's a YouTuber who does hacking and security content. I shared some of the details in the email with him, and then he did this like really sick deep dive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of go along with your story with breadcrumbs that John Hammond has. So this is actually just the screenshot from you. So this is the email that was sent to Linus. It shows like the location being Russia, which for most people is going to instantly click as like something is very wrong.
Yep.
It says that this account has logged in, and then there's a link to secure your account now.
Yep.
And then when you clicked that link, it would have brought you here.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yep. Right here.
Yeah.
So that's how they got the password. And then once I entered it.
Here's a quick question.
Yep.
When you entered it, did it say that it was wrong?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Because when John Hammond was poking through the site, he found that it will automatically tell you that you entered it wrong because they can't actually check.
Yeah.
So they tell you it's wrong so that if you did actually enter it wrong, you'll hopefully correct it.
Interesting.
And they're just trying to gather as much info as they
can. That's possible. But like the thing is, they caught me at exactly the wrong moment, and that's what I was about to say. Because like I'd like to think that I'm better than this and smarter than this, but I had just lit the grill.
Oh,
it was hot. I was supposed to go and get food to put on it. There was kind of no one else to do that. It was kind of Yvonne's event, and so I didn't want her to have to cook, and so I was rushing. Thanks. And I was like, okay, well, I just need to get this locked down. Nothing else matters other than just like getting it locked down. I think part of it is I don't really care about the Twitter account.
I think there's a combination of things going on. So distracted time pressure from the barbecue.
Yep.
There's the don't care as much about the Twitter account.
Like I've had multiple conversations in the last 6 months about just not bothering with it anymore.
Yep.
We don't get a ton of engagement there compared to Instagram, compared to TikTok. Our social team has mostly been redistributed within the company anyway, because we're looking at it going, what is the ROI here exactly?
On like tweets.
Yeah. And Twitter's been a big part of that because it just doesn't move the needle for us. We can tweet about a new video and we'll get like 4 referrals. It's like, okay, why are we even bothering with this?
So the last one, which I think you mentioned at one point in time publicly, was that with the YouTube hack, there was some takeaways, and one of the takeaways was act quickly. So I think taking those things combined, it was a bit of a perfect storm. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So basically, the next thing it prompted me for was my 2FA, which, if I thought about it, no, I don't need my 2FA to reset my password because it should just go to my email to reset my password. So what started happening was at some point I made it to my desktop. I don't know if it was immediately that first prompt.
Sorry, I'm gonna timeline us a little bit.
Sure.
So this is the page.
We're not on your screen.
Sorry. This is the page that you would have gotten after you entered it one time.
Yeah. So maybe that is where I went to desktop then. Because I don't remember exactly. Like, it was happening really fast.
Yeah. There's a couple. Okay, actually, I'll go into ways that you could have figured out that it was wrong actually once we're done. So
Sure.
this page comes up, and then the two-factor page comes up. Which,
Yes.
I'll find that. You keep talking.
Yeah. So basically, I'm not going to get into too many details because, as you can tell, I'm fuzzy on it. I was distracted and I was in the middle of something. But what started to happen was I started to get real password reset things that I was also doing mixed in with some of the fake stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where I got really confused. Because I'd get a real password reset email, but like it wouldn't work. But then that's so confusing because it was clearly still tied to my email by that point.
Because that real password reset email was probably the hacker setting things over, but those emails are still going to you. That makes sense. I never really thought about that.
So, long story short, I got disconfabulated, and I guess it happens to me once every 8 years. That's the last time I got phished.
When's the last?
Or wait,
what
no,
is the
not
last
8
one?
years ago. No, the last time I got bamboozled into clicking something on an email was the last time I lost control of the LTT channel. So,
that's really old.
That's older than 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm going to find out when it was.
That's closer to like 12 or 13.
In the meantime, why don't you walk us through this and all the ways that this hurts, right? Because I know very well, I know better. If you sat me down and told me, I'm going to give you like a security test, and you asked me, hey, if you get a password reset email, should you click the link? I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, you should navigate to the site manually.
I've even heard you say this before, just to back you up. So first off, if you really want, like,
hold on a second. While you're hosting this part,
you're gonna eat humble pie.
I'm gonna bring out a special treat for the show. This is my humble pie. Which was meant to be a surprise for my co-host that I will be eating humble pie on the show today.
Well, you announced it earlier in the show.
But I also talked about it earlier on the show now. So I'm gonna get this going. A, because I deserve this. B, because it's the right thing to do. When something like this happens, the best defense we have is to own it, publicly own it, use it as a teachable moment, so that hopefully someone else will avoid a similar attack. And reason number 3, because I'm actually really hungry and I could really use some pie right now. I've actually had kind of a hard week.
Nice.
Do you want some pie? I assume
no, I'm good.
not, but I should offer it. Dan, would you like some pie?
Yeah, sure. I thought you were going to just eat the whole thing on WAN show.
No, yours doesn't have to be humble. Yours can be just blueberry pie.
I see.
Only mine's humbleberry pie.
I mean, I can go leak the Twitter account again if you want, and I can have some pie.
No, that would be stupid pie.
Malicious pie.
yeah.
3.1 for I fired. 3.1.
No unemployment insurance pie.
Yeah. If you want the best public breakdown of this, there's a couple, but if you want the best one, I would check out the phishing website that hacked Linus Tech Tips video from John Hammond that he posted 2 days ago. I'm not going to play it for the stream because you should check that out. What I will go through a little bit, though, is his Twitter thread, which is also a good breakdown of events, but not as good as his video. His video has extra little tidbits, including a conversation that John Hammond had with the person who did this to you.
Oh, nice.
That's included in the YouTube video, so you should go check that out. It's a really
Tell him he's a
interesting conversation. John Hammond was quite diplomatic about it, I think, in an attempt to try to get more information, but didn't get a ton of information. But there's an interesting back and forth that happens, including some like. You should go watch it. It's really good.
Dan, I fell just short of putting this in a blender, but I think they heated this up or something because it's falling apart.
That's okay. My mouth does that anyway.
Here's your pie.
He's not wrong.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to go somewhat through this Twitter thread. This we can't see in this screenshot, but the sender email or the from.
Oh, yeah, it's
for
totally
this email
wrong.
was like x-login.com or something.
Can I interrupt for a moment? Can I interject? The email you're referring to as xsomething.com is... I don't remember exactly when it happened anymore, but at some point, in the interest of simplifying the UI, mobile mail clients stopped showing the email address by default.
There's a lot of things about this.
When did that happen? Because it was years ago. And why?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably space savings, like condensing things.
I remember thinking it was stupid back then, and I own part of the stupidity. I hold on, let me get my humble pie. I own part of the stupidity here, but can that not be a thing? Like, why is that a thing? That would have definitely helped because I would have seen that. It would have been front and center. Hold on. I'm also going to get that date for you.
Of the previous, the YouTube one from way back?
Yeah, the YouTube
I legitimately
was.
think it was like 12 years ago or 13 years ago. But yeah, so
find it. Okay, all right, carry on. Luke's laptop.
The from, which isn't on screen right now, but the from was info@x-logincheck.com. So that's your first, if you check that, that's your first flag that something's going wrong. There's a couple other things that are wrong with the email, but it's going to be really hard for you to be able to tell. This is not an exact carbon copy of X's actual, we noticed a login. It's pretty close, but it is different. But if you highlight over this secure your X account now, that's the next kind of somewhat easy tell that this is wrong, because the link that it went to is this one, this u4582723.ct.sendgrid.net, and then blah, 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 blah. It wasn't an x.com domain. So that's another giveaway. Once we get to the website itself, this page, there's a few things wrong with this page already. Old password is a little bit weird. All these links at the bottom aren't actually links. That was a fun one that was figured out, is that these don't go anywhere. They're just text that you can highlight with your mouse. They don't do anything. And this like old password, new password is kind of a weird way of writing this out. This is like kind of a weird English way of doing this. Also, some of the UI design just like doesn't feel 100% right, but it's not super obvious. It's just...
Thanks for throwing that in for me.
It's just a little weird. Moving forward, he like looks into this is really interesting. He looks into the actual code, figures out how things actually work, finds the API requests, different things like that, finds that the comments are all in Turkish, does some more poking around. Where is the login failed? Here it is. Okay. Here's the next one. When your first login fails, every login that you do here is not real. When it actually works, it just offboards you to X's actual website because it's like, whatever, we have nothing to do with you anymore. But after the first time you put in your data, it's going to ask you to do it again, and it's going to say that it's wrong. At this point in time, you've already given them your information. Like I don't think you've given them your two-factor at this point, but you're already kind of screwed. Things that stand out here, though, even if this image loads, I think the reason why this image didn't load at the time was because the account was set to private. So I think when you did it, the image would have loaded, to be clear. It just didn't load for John Hammond. This change password button actually going flush against this bottom line is probably not something that developers would have done there. But also, look at things like this. Your old password is incorrect, space, comma, space. Please double check it, no punctuation.
Nice.
Little things like that can tip you off that something's going wrong. I don't know if he has the screenshots of it in this thread. I know it's in the video, but when it asks for the two-factor code, it says two-fac. It doesn't, I don't think it's in here. Dang.
Interesting.
But he has it in the video.
Yeah.
But the text for the two-factor is like pretty bad, because it just says like two-fac and it's all written oddly. But really, like the easiest way to get around this stuff and an automatic default, and you should apply this to a lot of different scenarios, not just potentially fishy emails, is when you're warned about something like this, like if your bank calls you and they're like, oh my goodness, something terrible has happened.
Say, tell me what number I can call you back at.
No.
Yeah, and then
No.
you check it. Then you Google the number.
You can check it if you want, but
Yeah.
you just Google the number and call them anyways. You never call the one that they tell you on the phone.
Unless you Google it.
And it matches
And it
perfectly.
matches, yeah.
Yeah.
Extension is what I would ask.
Okay, yeah.
Because you
extension
need to be
makes
able to
sense.
get back in touch with the person, obviously, but you don't talk to them yet.
Yeah, don't talk to them on the phone. You want to be the person who reached out, and you want to be able to verify the contact that you're going to reach out to them at through entirely your own methods. Don't listen to them telling you to Google a specific thing in order to find them. Don't do any of that stuff. Find it completely on your own. In this case, what you do is, there's a weird breach with my X account. Close that email. Load up X, the app if you're on your phone, or go to the X website directly yourself on desktop and then reset it that way.
This is one of the things that really screwed me here. I'm not logged into that account on any of my devices. Not a single one.
So sorry, I want to point this out really quick. Someone in Full Plane Chat said you don't even trust that the caller ID is valid. That is true. You can absolutely fake caller ID. Don't trust it at all, no matter what it is, and then find another way to reach back out.
So if I had been logged in to my Twitter account, I would have just used the app to sign out all other sessions.
Yeah,
but I wasn't.
Yeah. What threw me off was that you had said that you didn't click anything in the email. So I didn't think I did. I didn't think it was phishing. So I was trying to figure out like what the heck would have happened, because from my perspective, I'm trying to think about like, okay, I mean, the first thing everyone assumes, I'm at DEF CON. Was it me? Right? But I can rule that out pretty quick because nothing weird is happening to my stuff. And if they got into any of my things, why would they go after the X account? It's like one of the least valuable things I have access to. There is so many bad things that could be done. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So, okay, so I rule that out pretty quick. You say you didn't click on a link. Okay, so I rule out phishing. Turns out it was phishing, but I rule out phishing at the time. Then I'm trying to figure out, okay, if they got into like our password manager, again, why would they go after Twitter or X or whatever? It's like it's oddly low value compared to the other things that they would able to get if they had these other potential attack vectors. So I came down to assuming, poor Sammy, I came down to assuming that like Sammy logged into the account from a personal computer that was compromised or something. Because I was like, that's really the only route I can think of that would have worked for this. And my brain is just completely on fire trying to figure out like what the heck, how did this happen? And then I think it was John Hammond reached out and was like, hey, it kind of looks like it's phishing. And he pointed out a few reasons why. And then these are, again, things that wouldn't have been super obvious in the moment, but are ways that he was able to verify that it was a phishing email later. So one, this Android thing is not an Android version. So that's interesting. Oh, no, that looked like 69. Yeah. 6942. He also noticed when he did get emailed by them that the Android version changed. So he thinks it's just like a random number or something, not entirely sure. And then if you look up the X login account device email thing or make it happen somehow, it is a little bit different. So he was able to verify that it was a phishing email there. So I looked back into it and I had Linus send me the email, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I realized before I even clicked send to you that I was done. I was like, oh, crap. Absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, someone asked, how many followers does the Linus Tech Twitter account have? They could just want exposure. Sure, but again, if they had any of these other methods, why just take the X account? If you had our password manager, you could take the X account, you could take the Instagram account, you could take the YouTube account, and then hit all of them at the same time. Like just taking the X account is pretty low value if you have like actually breached things that we have. But if it makes sense that if it would be a phishing account, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's the phishing topic.
Nice.
Be vigilant. Watch yourselves.
Always vigilant.
Yeah.
Yep.
And check out John Hammond's video because it's fantastic.
Yep. All right. Apparently, it's time for us to do some merch messages.
It's not.
It's not. I don't know what it's.
Let's go up to the phishing topic at the very top. There's this.
Then announce. Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have.
I think this was your
do you
idea.
want to go to the thing?
Sure.
So, do I have to read? All right, you know what?
I can,
No.
if you want.
Hold on, let me get some of the pie. Getting some of the humble pie. Eating the humble pie. What better way to commemorate Linus getting got than with a limited edition T-shirt and hoodie? These are print to order, so these are mock-ups of what the design will look like. But you guys know we do a great job of our merch. Got fish.
Is it the whale land whale, but without the jewelry?
Yeah. Which we know a whale is not a fish. Calm down.
Yeah.
Designed by Sarah, these are a reminder to always be vigilant about the emails you receive. Clearly, it can happen to the tech tippiest of us. Thank you for that, team. But the best part is we are donating all of the profits from the shirt and hoodie to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a nonprofit which defends internet civil liberties. It says Luke should be able to talk more about the org since he picked it. They are now available at lmg.gg/gotfish. If
you Google EFF, you're probably not going to get the the EFF that we're talking about.
So Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Yeah. So look that up, not the acronym. But yeah, they seem pretty cool to me. I don't know a huge amount about them, but they have like 3 different parts of their organization. I don't remember them exactly. One of them is a legal base where they try to jump in on certain trials and help in whatever kind of way benefits civil liberties for people, because their biggest thing is, I don't remember what they call it, but it's where they try to jump in on cases where like precedent is being set.
Cool.
And they try to make sure that the right precedent is being set in these cases. They also develop things. So if I remember correctly, it's like Privacy Badger or something is made by them, which is cool. And there's other stuff that they do that's cool as well. We were trying to pick a like kind of somewhat hacker-centric organization, so thought this made sense.
I had someone reach out to me.
Rookie numbers.
They're like a security researcher. They do security solutions. Basically, they were like, "Hey, so here's all the stuff that I was able to dig up on you. Do you want to know more about this? And here's some potential insights. And here you can have a look at. Here's a device you used in 2019, and here's apps that you've installed, and here's this and here's that." And I'm just like, thanks. All of that's public. You can probably find more info on me on Rocket Reach if you really want it. My privacy's dead. And he's like, "No, it's not dead. It's not dead. It's not dead." I'm just like, dude.
It definitely is, though.
Dude, it's so dead. It's so dead, man. Like, it's dead.
It's been dead for a while.
It's been dead for a long time. I mean, I have lived so much of my life on the internet at this point. Like, every once in a while I think about it. Someone will talk about like OG, YouTubers or whatever that are still active. Dude, it is getting to the point where there aren't that many.
It's genuinely
from like
very small amount.
My era.
I was at DEF CON over the weekend, and one of the things that happened was some people that we were hanging out with didn't know like who I was. So I would explain, and they'd be like, "Oh, cool. Like, when did you guys start that?" And I'd say the year, and they would just be like, like, what? I'm like, yeah, not actually the beginning, but like at this point, it might as well be.
Yeah. The funniest thing about that is when I got started on YouTube, I was sure it was too late.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's too late.
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone's already established at this point. I'll never catch up. Like, I'll be irrelevant in the tech space forever.
Same thing with Twitch, man. You look at the popular Twitch moves faster in regards to pushing people to irrelevancy. You look at the top like X amount of creators on Twitch, even from like a year ago or 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's completely cycled.
Yeah. I mean, the whole like whoever like X fell off, asterisk fell off. It's a meme at this point.
Yeah.
Only X number of viewers, blah blah, bro fell off. Right? Like it's.
Someone told me recently about the 5-year rule, where it's like practically impossible for any like influencer creator, whatever you want to call it, to stay at a high peak for more than 5 years.
Can't do it. I call it the curve. I've talked to you about that before. That's my term for it. The curve has only one shape.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder how my curve's doing. You used to be able to see it all on Social Blade because that was before.
It's one of the most annoying things YouTube has done.
Yeah, YouTube made them stop displaying data that they collected via the API that is over 2 years old. So you used to be able to look at the entire lifespan of any channel and you could see the entire like shape of the curve. And it was always
Well, and the subscriber numbers also weren't as like chunky.
this. Yeah. Hey, look at this though. Look at this.
We're going up.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Your hair is blonde.